Our studies continue regarding the 7th series that discusses prayer. And now we will move on to the 5th lesson, which will discuss intercessory prayer. For our key verse, 1 Timothy 2 verses 1 to 2. I urge, then, first of all, that petitions, prayers, intercession and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and all those in authority, that we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. Prayer is more than just presenting our own needs, it's about lifting others before the throne of grace. Paul urges Timothy and the church to prioritize intercessory prayer on behalf of others. This reflects the heart of Christ, our eternal intercessor. In this sermon, we will explore 4 dimensions of intercession. Pray for all. Intercession starts with an inclusive heart. Paul says, petitions, prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving be made for all people. That includes the saved and the unsaved, the righteous and the wicked, the near and the far. We are called to pray beyond our personal circles. Intercession pulls us out of selfish prayers into sacrificial love. Have you ever prayed for someone you don't even know personally? A neighbor, a stranger, even someone from another nation? The Spirit may lead you to pray for someone at the right moment, a prayer that changes their life even if you never meet them. Now Paul becomes specific about one group we're often tempted to overlook. Interceding for leaders. 1 Timothy 2 verse 2, for kings and all those in authority, we are commanded to pray for those in authority. Paul wrote this while the Roman Empire was under corrupt leadership, yet he urged the church to pray. We may not always agree with our leaders, but we are still called to intercede for them. Why? So that we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. Imagine what would happen if every believer prayed daily for local, national, and spiritual leaders, asking God to give them wisdom, integrity, and righteousness. When we intercede for leaders, we open the door for God's influence to shape nations. Now that we know who to pray for, let's understand what intercession really looks like. Standing in the gap. Intercession means taking the place of another in prayer. This is where we connect with the Old Testament echo of Abraham interceding for Sodom, Genesis 18 verses 22 to 33. Abraham stood before God and pleaded for mercy on behalf of a sinful city. He negotiated with God not for himself, but for others. He was willing to stand in the gap between judgment and grace. Who is God calling you to stand in the gap for? A lost family member? A rebellious child? A nation in turmoil? When you intercede, you say, God, remember them. Show mercy. Extend grace. Delay judgment. Finally, intercessory prayer is not just something we do, it's something that reflects the very heart of Jesus. Reflecting Christ's heart. Jesus himself is our great intercessor. Hebrews 7 verse 25 says that Christ lives to intercede for us. When we intercede, we imitate Christ, who prayed for Peter, Luke 22 verses 31 to 32, for his executioners, Luke 23 verse 34, and for all believers, John 17. True intercession comes from a heart of compassion, not condemnation. It brings heaven's mercy down to earth's need. Is your prayer life a reflection of Jesus? Are you willing to carry someone else's burden to the feet of the Father, just like Jesus carried yours? Intercessory prayer is a call to spiritual maturity. It's not always glamorous. It's often done in secret, but it moves the hand of God in mighty ways. When we pray for others, especially for leaders and even those who oppose us, we walk in the footsteps of Abraham and ultimately in the footsteps of Christ. This week, create a list of 5 people or groups you will intercede for daily. Include someone in authority, someone in need, and someone who has hurt you. Ask God to soften your heart and sharpen your prayers. Become a gap stander, a breach builder, a reflection of Christ. Thank you.